and welcome to this first lecture of this new course on guesstimates and case analytics. And in this section, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to make good guesstimates to succeed in your consulting interviews. So, what we're going to do in this course is basically learn about in this section, in this lecture particularly, what are guesstimates, and then we will look at what are recruiters looking for in the guesstimates. And part of that, we will also talk about what do they don't want in your answers. Right. So let's talk about what are guesstimates. What do you think? What is your understanding of what are guesstimates? Right. So there are many definitions, and there are many words that you can see as synonyms for guesstimate. Some of these are guess, conjecture, estimate, surmise, gauge, evaluate, assess, appraise, and finally guesstimate. So these are different synonyms for each other. There is a very interesting and a good definition that I picked up somewhere, which basically says guesstimates a simple back of envelope type calculation. So something that you can do on a maximum in an A4 sheet in 15 to 30, 10 to 15 minutes. So that's what guesstimates are. So two quick dimension that can you do this in 15 minutes time, and can you just do it on a sheet of paper? Maybe ideal is back of envelope or an A4 size without requiring too much computation, algorithms of computers, etc., etc. There's another interesting definition of guesstimates, which is called swag, and that is I found on Wikipedia. So it's a swag is acronym for scientific wild ass guess, and that's what I liked in this. So there are two things I like in this. One is being scientific, so it's reasonable, and it's a wild ass. It's a pot shot in the future. So that's and it means basically rough estimate being made by a person based on experience and intuition. So that gives you some good understanding what the guesstimate is. But the most practical one of the guesstimate is you split the word into guess and estimate. And here you make an estimate by guessing a few things about the thing that you're required to estimate. And you get a reasonably high level of quantification of the metrics. It involves some amount of prior knowledge and reasonable calculation. So the word is reasonable calculation and prior knowledge. And some of the reasons, some of the things that you see here on your screen are like estimate the number of cigarette sales in India per year, estimate the number of office chairs in Bangalore, estimate the number of lights in flights in air currently, etc., etc. And you see the estimating requires, as you see in this example here, of a number of Indians who consume tea. It requires certain prior knowledge like population of India, age distribution, the and then you do reasonable calculations using those data and your knowledge to come with some reasonably good answer. So that's what the guesstimate is. So what are recruiters looking for in guesstimates answer? What do you think they would score as right, and what would they say, no, that's really not the right answer? Any thoughts on that? Okay. So what the recruiters are looking for in guesstimates answer are broadly four things, if we were to say. There may be more things, but these are the 80% things that they're looking for. First, they were looking for, let me start with, what they're not looking for is an absolutely right and right answer. There's no such thing an absolutely right answer. What they're looking for is, are you able to understand the question correctly, or do you jump to conclusion? Do you rush to calculations without even understanding the question? So first they're looking at whether you can understand the question correctly. Second, they're saying if you understood the questions correctly, are you figuring out the right approach? So you have right approach. Are you getting that confirmed from them and aligning on the right approach? And this is very important in life as you go along and do your consulting career, is that any problem that you will solve for a client, first you need to understand the problem. And second, they need to figure out the right approach. So they are basically trying to do whether you can do that when you join them. Third, you will have to, are you making assumptions, and are these assumptions reasonable? That's the third thing. And the fourth thing, whatever your answer is it self-explanatory and precise? It's not going around the bushes. It's to the point answering, and you have a good reason for you to say what you are saying here. And remember, as I said here, I've been told by many recruiters, they're not looking for answers. They say the answers will change from time to time. What we are looking for is that people's thinking process, ability to ask question, understand question, develop a solution for the time being, and take that forward. What are they not looking for? What do they don't want in the guesstimates answer is a complicated approach. They're not looking for a very complex approach because a complicated approach is too difficult to handle. They're also not looking for very high level of accuracy. They're looking for guesstimate. They're not looking for precision estimates. Also, they don't want a logical inconsistent. They want you to be consistent in whatever you're doing. And they don't want you to answer something that's difficult to understand. And please understand, for a consulting interview, this is all being done to screen you whether you can handle clients well, you can understand them, their problems, find the possible right solution, take them along, and then work through on that. So that's what they are not looking for in this. So what do we do in the next module? So with having understood what the guesstimates are and what the recruiters are looking for in the guesstimates and what they're not looking for, we will look at how can you make good guesstimates, right? So that you can then use that process to really start making good guesstimates in your interview and crack your consulting interviews. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture of Guesstimates Overview. I hope you're beginning to enjoy, beginning to learn something new, and I look forward to see you again in the next lecture.